All right. Another week, another centre circle. How you doing, boys?
Not too bad. I'm great that we've not seen Slot and his ways.
No slot ball.
No slot ball.
To depress us.
What
Only 2 weeks ago.
Perked me up is seeing Liverpool players actually have a good weekend so far.
Yeah, Verts did all right as well.
I thought you were talking about Thiago and Gerrard's link up yesterday in the Legends game.
What? In
The throwback.
who gives a... Anyway.
Mate,
Right
if
on.
only.
I saw it. He didn't even
If
score at the
only.
end.
Thiago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the end of the one that everyone...
he didn't score that, but he did score. He did score yesterday.
But I feel like they're having Legends games every week now. These men are bored. Clearly.
I quite like it,
Not
though.
enough punditry. No, man. I liked it when it was special. Now and again. Now, every 2 months there's a Legends game.
So you're against charity, is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. There's many ways to raise money for charity. Anyway, moving on. You recovered from your week in the spotlight, mate. People be getting on to you, innit?
Hey, football's a game of opinions.
Yeah.
We're not always going to agree with each other. And it's fine. If you don't agree with me,
Yeah,
it's
but
fine.
you can understand...
I'll hold my corner.
This guy. But you can understand, sometimes if you're the only one that has a certain view, you got to be open enough to say, okay, maybe they actually say something that...
No, I'm not wrong.
Okay, all right.
Fine. I know what's funny. I had Man United fans sending me clips of Bruno, and one of the clips was a corner. I was like, you're backing up my point.
No, because it was a good corner. It was a good corner. I don't know, man.
Anyway.
Listen, an assist is assist. That's all I'm going to say. Let's not rehash.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's it.
Some
I was just
people
checking
want others.
if he'd finished fighting his corner. He was like Jon Snow, in that meme. He was like Jon Snow in the comments, bro.
Do you know what I love, though? Is the ones that are not smart enough or cannot articulate their thoughts well enough. So what they do is they start drawing for the Persies.
Yeah, and they start doing insults and all of that.
Grow up.
Mate, 100%. And if you're gonna insult someone, at least spell the player's name correctly. I don't understand. So let's just leave it out. Leave it out. Anyway, we were having a chat in the week, yeah? And I think, again, Key. I don't know what's going on with Key these days, I think he's entering his Victor Meldrew era. Because there's always something troubling him every week.
You know what? They say if you don't get it off your chest, it eats you up in the side.
Yeah,
And
but
as
why
my
are these
boys,
things every
as
week?
my boys, I feel I should be able to express
Every
myself.
week, something. Anyway, so someone named the top 5, and they named Graham Souness in the top 5. And you were like, well, hold on. You didn't see Graham Souness play. How can he be in your top 5?
And I think that is a credible argument. I've got no problem with people naming...
Wait, what bit? Graham Souness been in the top 5, or did you see Graham Souness play?
Graham Souness left Liverpool in 86, I believe. The person who I saw named the Liverpool top 5 was no older than 30 years old. Why is Graham Souness in your top 5 if you're 30 years old?
We have YouTube, TikTok. He's seeing a few Graham Souness tackles. He's rating it.
What if he's a football historian?
I don't care. No, like in all serious, it's very hard to compare eras. I get that, but even if you go back and study X amount of tapes, you're not going to get a big enough sample size to say someone who played the game before you're mature enough to actually analyze it in real time. You can't put them in a top 5. I think whenever you're doing a top 5, you need to be able to say, right, I've seen these people play at an extensive level during my cognitive years, so you can have a nuanced...
Cognitive years. Wow.
A nuanced...
What day Wikipedia Sunday?
Argument. Because if I went to that person and said, well, what made Graham Souness good? He put a few tackles in, sprayed a few balls.
I hear you. I'll be honest. The reason why I'm not having it is because it's Graham Souness. I'll be on the real. I don't care how many things he's won. He wasn't that guy. There are some players who are so good, the stuff you see and the impact they have. I personally wouldn't put someone that was before my time in my top 5. But I do think some players, there's so much footage of them. You can see the stuff that they've done. And there are those football fans, right? They get so obsessed with someone They've watched full games wherever they can find them. They've gone and understood the history of the player, all the great goals they've scored, all that kind of stuff. Like, I wouldn't put Maradona in my top 5, but I wouldn't argue if someone who does.
Why would you not put him in your top 5?
Because part of the top 5 thing for me, when I'm listening, is stuff I saw, it's stuff I understood the meaning of. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Bergkamp's goal in the World Cup against Argentina. Do you know what I mean? I knew the importance of it, was there, saw the reaction, all that kind of stuff. There's just certain goals, you see them, and it's different. Some of Maradona's goals are unreal, but I'm watching them so after the fact. I can appreciate the football skill, etc., but I can't get into the emotion of it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so
That's me personally.
My retort is, although I didn't experience the Napoli season where everyone says he dragged them to the title, you can still appreciate and understand the fact of the importance of him to that team in that period, because it was the period of the AC Milans, the Juventus. Like, those teams were stacked.
And they hadn't won anything in 30 years.
Exactly. So for him to be such a pivotal part of that team winning the league, I can understand and appreciate how important and how good he must have been in that season, right? And it's not just that. You can pinpoint the World Cup, Argentina won. You can pinpoint the goals that you can reference the goals that he scored. I mean, the goal against England when he went from the halfway line. I mean, the only other person we've seen do that is
Messi.
There you go. And how do we refer to Messi? As one of the greatest, right? So therefore, for me,
the greatest.
For me, I can understand people putting Maradona in their top 5 just off of that, right?
Is he in yours? Is anyone pre your era in your top 5? After all that,
probably Maradona would be the closest to.
Yeah.
If people said, all right, Maradona or Pele, I'm leaning on Maradona. And the reason why I'm leaning on Maradona as opposed to Pele was obviously before Maradona. They kind of crossed over towards the end of Pele's career. But my point is this. So I say all that to say this. Look, and I'm going to stand with Keith a little. The level of football, right, over time has risen.
yes.
Right? Technological developments, just better understanding and insights of the game, the level of football has risen.
So basically, he was playing against pubmen.
Yeah. Right?
And also as well, when you go back and look at highlights, you're only getting the highlights. So you're not seeing the bad games that these ex-pros had, where you're seeing everything and basing it on good and bad. Those people who played in previous eras, they're only seeing the good. So it's hard to get a real judgment on how good they were, because did they have like 3 stinkers in a row and then kind of turn up and just put the magic on for like 10 games in a row after that? Now you're seeing the good and the bad, so it's easier to base the judgment on.
But if there are more highlights,
Yeah, there's more good than
but
bad.
no one was filming the bad.
no. But I'm saying no.
Now we've got the haters.
No, there will be bad. But if a player, a la Maradona, has a catalogue of highlights, that speaks to how good.
Yeah, and you win in the World Cup. You won with Napoli, and those days as well. When they say he dragged them there, he literally dragged them.
If I reference Makeda, you're going to reference the goal against Aston Villa. There's nothing else, right? So if someone's now coming and telling me how good Makeda was, I'm sure, where's the proof? You've only got one sample. But if I now say Maradona, or if I now say Neymar, or if I now say Messi, bruv, there's just reels and highlights of these players doing great after great after great after great. So to your point, regardless of whether they only record the bad, if there's tons of highlights, that kind of speaks to how good they were.
No, I fully understand that, but there will be bad hidden somewhere. Like if we could actually go back and check it, they'll be bad.
So, in essence, you're being a grumpy old man.
No, I don't think I am. I just think you need to have a proper sample size of everyone that you're putting into your top 5, whether it be for your specific club, your greatest of all time, etc. I think it's very hard when you only put highlights in against someone who you've seen the good and bad.
I feel like everything in ball, it depends, right? If you say the best ever for your club, there's a lot of people who will have to name someone who they never saw, or maybe 2 generations before. Do you know what I mean? So there's going to be that, right? Should they not do that because they haven't seen it? They're going off second-hand information. But I hear you. Me personally, all the people that would be in my top 5, I've seen at least a portion of Korea with my own eyes, right?
I think that's how it should be. Me personally, not everyone will agree, but hey.
Yeah.
I'm used to people not agreeing with me.
We're going to have to give you like a weekly Victor Mildrew section now, I think. It's getting to that point. It is getting to that point. But bringing it to today, it's the lead up to the World Cup. So it's the usual stuff now. Who's going in the World Cup squad, who's not. And Thomas Tuchel has taken the other approach of basically having a massive squad to keep everyone guessing, give everyone a chance, which I like actually. Did he learn anything from this recent initial game and training camp? Who do you think was on the outside and has now put their head through the door?
So in terms of did he learn anything, I believe if he didn't extend his contract pre this round of games, I don't think he would have picked such a big squad and essentially future-proofed his role. So I think what he's done, he looked at people who he could rely on in the future beyond the World Cup. Where I think if he was just leaving in the summer, he would have stuck to his core and be like, right, this is what I'm going to work with, etc.
Yeah.
So I think he's forward-looking a little bit.
He's doing a bit more of a project now, as they like to call it.
Indeed. In terms of the players that were called up, so Garner for Everton, example, he's had a fairly decent season. I think it was good enough for him to kind of get in this 35-man squad to have a look. I think that's what Tuchel's doing. He's having a look to say, if my key players are not around, who can I rely on? That's the way I see it.
But who answered the question then?
Yeah, I'm getting there. All right, relax. So yeah, I went to the game and...
Oh, that's why. That's why he was doing prep and all that.
No, because
he was doing, doing match of the day. Yeah.
I don't think Garner had done himself any favours. I think it was just a step too far.
So wait, you mentioned him first. I thought you were going to say.
No, but I understand what, because a lot of people saying, well, why is he there?
Oh,
and I understand,
so that's why he was picked. But now you've seen him now.
Don't think he's quite ready yet. Solanke, get him out of there. There was
no service.
There
was no service for him.
I don't care. What he did do with the ball, I'm not having it.
There was no service until no one wanted to play forward until Wharton got on the pitch.
No, that's very true. But that's because Garner was there. I think Hall and Livramento done themselves enough to get into the squad for the World Cup, and I think you've seen that throughout the season.
I think they're fortunate because there's hardly anyone in front of them.
Yeah, I think Reece James...
I think for Hall that's a bit harsh. Livramento, I'd say that's fair. I think Hall's had a really good season, to be honest.
Who else is there?
Who's pushing him? Who's the competition?
But you still got to play ball, innit?
But the bar's not that high.
Yeah, because there's no Reece James on his side, is what I'm saying.
No, okay, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
He's playing left back, right?
Yeah, there's no Reece James quality.
We're starting with Jed Spence at left back. So.
Yeah, Jed Spence,
the failed...
He's not going.
failed gel.
Sorry.
He'll go, but he won't start. He'll be there for...
He needs to get his head up.
So you think Hall starts ahead of Spence?
I would.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, you look at the season these teams have been.
You say Luke Shaw doesn't have a chance?
Pardon?
No. Luke Shaw.
Nah.
If you can't even make this squad, he's not feeling you.
Yeah. And to be fair, Trent was left out of the squad. I know there's been a bit of a fallout. It might be because
he was seen with his ex.
I don't know how true that is, innit? I don't know.
Unfortunately, I'm questioning everything these days. Yeah, I don't know what AI... I don't know.
It could be a case of we know what Trent can offer. The others haven't been in and around the squad that much.
He's got to take Trent, surely.
You know what I mean? So
he's got to take
I don't think the fringe players set the world alight, but I can understand why they were utilised for this particular international set.
From what I saw, Rashford did seem to do well.
Yeah, but Rashford's not a fringe.
Rashford's not a fringe. Rashford's automatically gone. There's no way you cannot take him.
I mean, he was playing in that game with all those people. I'm just saying.
And he was making things happen. And he was getting down the line. He was putting the ball in the box, and no one was there.
But Foden, he needs to.
Let's just wrap it up. Let's just wrap this number 10. No one knows where Foden plays. Let's just wrap it up. He's not a 10. Clearly, you put him out on the left. He doesn't impact the game how you would like him to. let's just wrap it up now. He's too passive. He's not. There's no aggression about him. He doesn't leave a mark on the pitch. When he tries to do the cutesy, and then someone comes along and imposes themselves, he shrinks. What are we doing here?
Yeah, and that's right. So Foden started, didn't impact the game. Palmer comes on, you see an instant uplift in the tempo and the direction of the team play. Like you say with Wharton and Ghana, Wharton comes on for Ghana, you can see the different quality in players.
I'll say it here now. Foden needs to leave City. He needs to leave.
No, I agree.
He needs to go
Hold
somewhere.
on, talk to me. Let's unpack that. What do you mean?
I think, regardless of what you think his ceiling is, how good or bad or not he is, he needs to go somewhere where he is their guy. He needs to go somewhere where every week he's starting, he's their guy. He's their Cole Palmer, he's their Saka, he's their Bruno, whatever it is. He needs to be that guy. At City, he's never had it. He ain't getting it. By the time he thinks
To be fair, he had that season where he was scoring and assisting.
Yeah. But I think the problem is when you're not doing as well, you still need the team to put you in. You still need to feel like you're part of the cog. Look at Saka. Saka is still playing, regardless of whatever you want to say. He's still playing. He's still on the pitch to create chances and all the other stats. His output stats aren't great, but he's still on the pitch to do all the
Still
other
a
stuff.
threat.
Yeah, exactly.
He still looked at.
Well, yeah.
We need to mark.
Yeah.
We need to keep an eye on this guy.
Exactly. He's still, he's extracting resources, all that stuff. Foden, he doesn't know whether he's playing every week. I honestly, I think if you're going to see anything decent out of him, I don't know where that place is though, because the market is the market. He needs to go somewhere where he's the guy every week.
Do you know the kind of where I see him? What kind of player I see him looking like? You know, like how Harvey Elliott at Liverpool, where everyone was like, where do you put him? Where do you play him? On the right, he would do well, but he's not good enough to play on the right. And also, we had the conundrum of Mo Salah, right? And then you try to put him through the middle, he wouldn't impact the game. But for England, in the what was it, the under-21s, he from the 10, he had a blinder. He bossed it. But at Aston Villa, he can't seem to have that same impact, right? And I look at Foden in that same. I'm not comparing. I'm not saying Foden is Elliott.
Good enough for.
But I'm saying the conundrum of where to play a player like Phil Foden is similar to the same conundrum we have with Harvey Elliott. Where do you put that player on the pitch where they have a significant impact?
I think he should play 10. I think same thing Cole Palmer's getting every week. Morgan Rogers is not 10 as such because Emery doesn't care what number you've got on your back. You're working back like a defender. You're moving forward like a defender. But these guys, every week, I don't get where you have to earn it, but he needs to go somewhere and it's on his back and the pressure's on him. And because at City, you don't get it for long enough. Pep operates that thing as the team, and which is right, but the team does well, and I've got all these pieces, and whatever equation this week means the team does well, that's what's going in. Bernardo Silva, Diaz, and Haaland are the only ones. And Donnarumma now. That's it. Everyone else, boy, you might not make the equation. You might not be the square or the cube this week.
Yeah.
That's it. So he needs to, I don't know where that is now though, unfortunately, but it's not the Champions League club because they've all got their own. All the Champions League clubs have got their own. Liverpool ain't buying him.
How did Calvert-Lewin look?
He missed a sitter.
He looked more of a threat than Solanke, but as John just alluded to, he missed a sitter.
He's a threat though. He mixes it
Are you jumping on the bandwagon?
No. I'd go back to Welbeck. I think Welbeck offers you more than Solanke and.
You know what? It's a tricky one. Okay, so who's getting on the plane? Welbeck or Calvert-Lewin?
Who do I think Tuchel will take?
Yeah.
I think he'll take Calvert-Lewin because he's younger.
So you think Calvert-Lewin's going?
Yeah.
So you
think he's going? Do you think Calvert-Lewin's going?
Of course. That's my guy, man.
But the three I would take would
Yeah.
be Kane, Watkins, and Welbeck.
Nah, Welbeck can't.
Kane, Watkins, and Welbeck.
Offers you much more than any of the others.
I don't think Solanke is going to make it. I think Watkins is going. I think it's Kane, Watkins, DCL. I don't think Solanke is going.
You think Watkins has a chance?
What's your three? Who would you take?
Yeah.
Free strikers.
Why are we saying three, by the way?
Exactly.
Oh, no, because you're leaving out the wingers. You're leaving out the Sackers and those guys.
You normally
guys,
take. They normally take three
3-9s. No, 3-9s.
I'm not taking 3-9s.
Why are you not taking 3-9s?
Because I've got Rashford that can play up front. And
Rashford don't want to play through the middle.
But he'll play where you tell him to. World Cup.
Play where you're told.
It's World Cup.
Southgate took
This is the
3
World Cup.
to the Euros. Three strikers are going.
Okay,
You
that's
think
fine.
Tuchel's taking 3?
Yeah, 100%.
So
Because if one of them gets injured,
Well, Kane's obvious.
okay. So who's your 2 then?
So who's the 2?
Who's your 2?
DCL.
Mm.
And I would take Welbeck. I would take Welbeck and
Okay.
DCL because I'd take Welbeck on form.
Yep.
He's proven he's done the job. He's scored. He's the top scoring Englishman outside of Kane.
Yep.
And DCL because he's an aerial threat that neither Kane or Welbeck are.
I don't have a good, solid reason why you shouldn't take Welbeck. It's just I don't know. I don't know if that time has passed him. So I'm not even going to argue with you.
He's got experience of playing for big teams.
Been to a tournament before.
He's been to tournaments. There's no reason not to take him.
But in terms of being clinical, and Watkins hasn't done enough of that lately. But if he was going to take Welbeck, he would include him in a couple of these squads. He's not going to not do it all this time.
Yeah,
take him.
I know. I don't think he'll take
So I
him,
think
but I
Tuchel's
think he
gonna,
should.
Yeah, I think Tuchel takes Kane, and if DCL carries on, DCL, and then someone needs to sort themselves out. Because Solanke's not in a team that's performing and
He
scoring.
hasn't played. Yeah, he hasn't played. He's been
But the numbers, in the last how many games, I don't know, 4 or 5 games, he scored 3 goals or whatever. So even though his team's tanking, he's playing. And again, Tuchel's the kind of guy who'll look at his profile, all of that kind of stuff. So Solanke might sneak on, but I wouldn't take him. I would take Kane. I would take Watkins and DCL probably. I don't think I'd take Welbeck. Personally, I wouldn't take Welbeck. All right, but I've read somewhere yesterday, I don't know if it's accurate, that quite a few of the first teamers have actually gone home.
So what he done, he picked such a big squad.
Yeah.
He said those who are involved in kind of European competitions, like from the bigger club essentially, they were never going to play on Thursday. So he set out from the...
Yeah, and I thought they were coming later.
Yeah, so they did turn up, but players like Rice, Saka...
Eze.
Well, Eze never got called up because he was injured.
Yeah, he was injured.
But
there's a pattern.
Madueke- Yeah, Madueke...
he got injured on
he
Friday.
got injured
Ben White.
on Friday. Now, Ben White's staying, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I heard, But there seems to be a pattern here, a trend.
Yeah, of a certain club. Is that what you're trying to imply?
I'm not here to cut.
No, you know what? That's been, but that's been happening for years.
I'm
The
just
Fergie-
saying it looks a
Don't care.
little coincidental.
Don't care. Keep them wrapped up. Yeah, don't care.
But yeah, there'll be a stronger team out on Tuesday against Japan, who beat Scotland last night, actually. So you get like the Kanes back and the starters essentially.
Okay.
So
Fair
There's
enough.
no Arsenal players.
Yeah.
It would just be interesting about the centre back, because I thought Stones would have been a shoe-in to start, but obviously he's not getting no game time at Manchester City at the minute.
Didn't he get sent home as well?
Yeah, he's left the squad without playing. So it looks like Maguire always plays well for England. I know people are very up and down about Maguire. Rarely puts a foot wrong for England.
Maguire's.
he-
I'm gonna tell you that now. You see Maguire for England.
Yeah.
I can't see him. There's too many gaps in his game. The last couple of times I've watched Maguire, there's something about him that just irks
Yeah,
me.
but that's
When
like
you-
United. When he puts
No,
it back
and
to the
England.
Lions,
And
When you get
he
to them,
transforms.
Nah.
when you get to them quarters, semis, and finals, and you start hitting them France and them and there,
he's going to get
you see.
punished.
Yeah, you'll see.
There are some gaps in his game.
So what? Gahey Konsa starting centre back pairing.
No,
Looks
because
like- I think Gahey Stones starting.
do you know what I just don't want to see? I don't want to see Gahey against Real Madrid in an England shirt.
Yeah,
Because he looks so out of place.
that was welcome. to the big league,
Valverde
son.
just said,
Welcome to the NBA. That's what that was. Valverde said, "You're here now." Rashford got to be here. So, all right. Well, look. Where do you place England's chances? What are you saying? Because France are my favourites. That's
France, if France don't make the final, I think that's going to be the
even
biggest
Upamecano
upset.
doing the nonsense he does. France.
I think if England don't make the semi-finals, it's a poor tournament for them.
Really?
Yeah.
With the way everyone's playing, I don't know.
Everyone like who? I think the top two are France and Spain. Just
No, I meant the England players. Sorry.
oh, okay.
Yeah, the way the England play. Apart from Rashford, Kane, who else is in decent form for England at the moment? Rice. Maybe. Saka's not saying much.
Maybe
Harvey Barnes.
Maybe Barnes
Is he going?
on the edge. So he got called up late after
Yeah.
a couple.
I rate
of
Harvey
fouls.
Barnes, man. I think he's better than Gordon personally, but
Okay, but just in terms of the
yeah,
national
I'm
team,
not sure.
I think
everyone's
semi-final.
saying France is a shoe-in for the final.
Yep, Spain.
Spain, I'd say they're just. Oh, bloody hell! I'd say Spain are just underneath.
Yeah.
Argentina because of Messi. I would say
No, you have to. Yeah, yeah.
you kind of have to look at Argentina as quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil quarterfinals, Portugal.
Brazil what?
No.
You don't think?
Have you seen them play?
No.
You don't think they
No.
gave France trouble the other day?
No.
What trouble? Crowd trouble?
Well, after France got a man sent
I
off.
thought it was quite a basketball game. I thought it was
That
quite
team
end to
is
end.
whack.
Nope. I can't see it.
They're gonna make it for a couple of reasons. They'll do all right
I can't see it.
through some athleticism and some individuals, Vinny, Cunha. But if they get to quarterfinal, give that man a raise. Give Ancelotti a little pay bump.
I
That
think
team is whack.
quarterfinal is anything beyond the quarterfinal. They're overachieved.
And this is not for a Brazil team.
Yeah,
If you compare it to the Brazilian standard, that team is rubbish.
yeah. I know that.
But just for the international picture now, they're gonna have a hard time, real hard time.
I think a lot of teams are going to surprise us. A lot of teams that we don't consider as
Bro.
as challengers are
Yeah,
going to surprise us.
Yeah, fair.
One I wanted to discuss, the Dutch team. What are your thoughts on them and their chances? They strike me as like the Spurs of the international scene.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
for all the talent, it's a bit of an ilk to the golden age of the Belgian team, where everyone expected that Belgian team to
Yeah,
do really well.
who's their main attacker now?
Who's the Dutch?
The Netherlands.
He's still relying on Memphis Depay, no?
Yeah, Simmons, the guy, De Jong.
Gakpo.
It's very Belgium-y, isn't it?
It's not even anywhere near Belgium.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that.
At least Belgium's players were slapping at league level. These guys aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
Van Dijk and Van der Ven.
And then
At centre back.
Gravenberch will spin the midfield and then give it to someone who's not going to do anything. So
They always strike you as that team that they always have good players,
Yeah.
but come the tournaments, they never really.
yeah, Memphis will have a moment or two, but he can't do it all by himself.
I mean, the World Cup recently, they done well. They obviously until they come unstuck against Argentina, but that's outside of that, I've not seen anything from them that's made me go.
And even
They're going to
we beat them
continue.
the last Euro, didn't we?
There you go.
So
All right. Well, there you have it. Let's see what Thomas Tuchel does. And clearly, you lot that had audition on Friday, you didn't do your job. The other big news that came out this week, Mo Salah, seeking pastures new,
King Mo.
is moving on.
King Mo.
About time, move, man. Tired of you, bruv. Coming here slapping goals. Get out.
Look, I know I've been very critical and very harsh on it
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
for the past 2 seasons, but that's just based on wanting Liverpool. I don't want to say the best for Liverpool because obviously his performance last season was the best for Liverpool. But that's just wanting, I think essentially we've set a new standard, a new benchmark, and then wanting to kick on from that. As Coco used to always say, you know, if you reach a new level and then you plateau, you then, what's wrong with now wanting to find the next thing to take you to the next level? And I think with Mo, what I was critical about is the demands, some would say justly, because he's earned it, that he was now trying to put on Liverpool, i.e. new contract, the wages, etc. Put all that to the side. Listen, Mo has been and will go down as a Premier League legend. There's no doubt about it. Like, you cannot look at his numbers, the consistency, the level of output that he has delivered over the last, was it 8-9 years now?
9 seasons.
Is he a top 5 Premier player ever?
Yes.
Top 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
He's your top 5 Premier players ever.
Alan Shearer, you can't discount him for being the fact that he's got the most goals ever in the Premier League. Thierry Henry, Mo Salah.
Okay.
I think for the other two, I'm biased, so I'm always going to put Captain Steven George Gerrard in there.
I mean, you never won it, but all right, go on.
And in the fifth, someone like a Ryan Giggs. 13 Premier League titles.
It's not a bad list.
Can't scoff at that.
Yeah, it's not a bad list.
A lot of people are going to look at that and say, he doesn't know book, whatever. It's my list.
I think the top 5 in the Prem is interchangeable.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a definitive.
I agreed.
Top
I don't
5.
think there is a definitive
I just wanted to know if
nail
Mo
down.
made it, because it doesn't make it in mine, but fair.
Yeah, we're not surprised at that.
Why? I rate Mo.
I don't think
I've
there's a
supported Mo on this
definitive-
podcast.
What's your 5?
You do yours first. Because I'm expecting someone in there, and I might dash my laptop in your head.
I quite like yours.
Okay, you didn't take the bait. I thought you were going to say put someone else in. Go on,
No,
do your
no.
5, do your 5.
I think the only thing I want to swap out for yours would be Alan Shearer. I know what Alan Shearer's done, but as a footballer, I'm a bit. So maybe you didn't put CR7 in yours, did you?
No.
Yeah, I'd do Shearer for CR7.
Some would argue he had 3 banging seasons. But all right.
I mean, exactly. I think his sample size
Yeah.
is not big enough.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
I would
Because
go.
Suarez had one of the greatest Premier League seasons in history,
You lot didn't put any defenders, by the way. Clock that.
You wouldn't.
generally.
So Rio wouldn't make it?
No.
VVD?
And the thing to go back to Ronaldo, he won his Ballon d'Or in the Prem.
So did Michael Owen.
Yeah, that was European Player of the Year. Not
No, it was Ballon d'or. They consider it as
but it was when he won it. It was still European.
It wasn't Ballon d'Or. Nah, let's be honest. It's still
wasn't
Ballon
European.
d'Or.
No, but I'm saying at the time.
But Ballon d'Or is still
it wasn't
European.
well-
It's still Ballon d'Or is still Ballon d'Or.
All right. So I'm going to go. Omri. Roy Keane. Yeah, you got to put Shearer in there.
You have to. You can't deny the fact that he's the top goal scorer.
It was Shearer or Rudy for me. I'm not going to lie. But Shearer, you have to put Shearer in there. Top 5.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not easy.
Apart from you give people grace for their top 5. As
Yeah.
long as it's not like a wild name.
No,
You give
Jamie
people
Vardy. It's just what? So what?
Nah, I think there's probably. Yeah, you're right. You know, Mo Salah can get in there because for me, Stevie G and Lampard can't make it. Maybe Lampard. Maybe Lampard number
No, but
5.
it's fair.
Lampard number 5. As much as I did the numbers, what he did, crazy. So let's put Lampard, and then Mo can sneak. Maybe Mo can sneak in. Maybe.
I think
I
there's
think there's still definitely a shout for Oso or Rio because again, what the consistency, what they did for those teams, yeah, I'd have to go for I would say Oso.
Yeah. I think
Campbell.
the top 5 pool comes from about 15-ish players.
Yeah.
I
Top
don't
10 is
think-
way easier.
I don't think it's
Way easier.
I don't think there's more than 15 players
Yeah.
you can put into your top 5. And if you're in that top 15, I'd be like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, what about forwards?
Whatever.
What about forwards?
So the top 3 Prem forwards ever. Does Mo make it?
No.
Shearer, Omri, Kane.
Wait, hold on. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. Are we talking
Anyone that
forwards?
for 3?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shearer, Omri are top 2. There's no
Yeah,
debating
yeah.
that. So then it's the third.
It's gotta be
Again,
It's gotta be Kane.
the pool is...
No, but Mo won the league twice, bruv.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I know I said my knee jerk was not. That was just PTSD. No, I think it is. I think it literally is Shearer, Henry, Mo Salah.
Yeah. I think
You can't argue against the consistency. That stat where he had a man of the match against every team last season, in some twice.
I think Haaland's gonna take one of those
8th
spots,
top goal scorer at Old Trafford.
Since a period. I think,
Since there's a
like
period.
2020 or something like
That-
that.
Because he's been in the league, what, 9 years?
Yeah, 9 years.
You can't that's mad. There's not another striker in the Prem history with those kind of
And then
achievements.
if you take out number 9s, then it's literally Henry.
No, Henry was a 9.
Well,
He just liked to drift to the
Yeah,
left,
I
so
was gonna say.
you'd consider him a nine.
it's literally Henry, CR7, Salah, and Hazard for me. That's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hazard, here's one
Guy.
that I saw. People were comparing Hazard and Neymar, right? Obviously, off the back of
I'm doing this.
Neymar.
overlap. Hold on, no, that's not. Let me get to my point.
Right.
Let me get to my point.
Sorry.
Obviously, off off the back of the overlap and then nonsense. There was a discussion around Hazard and Neymar. Now, obviously, we know Neymar is and will be always the better player, but there's a specific attribute that I think is very debatable, and I could understand why some would pick Hazard over Neymar, right? And that's a dribbler, as a ball-carrying dribbler. So someone you want that you pick up the ball, let's imagine they're halfway line, and they're going towards goal.
I'd still pick Neymar.
You'd still pick Neymar.
Yeah, I'd still pick Neymar. I think we got
The gap in dribbling isn't far
not
between
far.
them, though.
Because
far.
the
They're
one
in the
thing
same-
about Eden
they're in the
Hazard,
same tier.
you could not get the ball off him.
But
Where
I
if
think
Hazard
Neymar's
locked
dribbling-
in, as a dribbler and the skills and flicks and tricks, Neymar.
No, not even forget.
But I'm just remove the skills and flicks and tricks.
Yeah. We moved that just in terms of
The ability to run at a man.
for me being able to actually get to the outcome he wanted. So he never just dribbled for the sake of dribbling. He was always dribbling to get through the next line.
Yes.
Always dribbling through. So that's why for me, as sick as Hazard was, Neymar was elite at that. Absolutely elite at that.
Because I equate it to like Ronaldo and Messi, right? Because Ronaldo was all about the flicks and tricks.
Yeah.
Great dribbler, but the flicks and tricks.
And he did it in
some
front of people.
instances, it was like, bro, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Just beat the man. Whereas you look at Messi, he's not doing step overs. He's not doing rainbow flicks. I'm gonna drop a shoulder and go.
Yeah.
And it's like Hazard, the same thing. I'm gonna drop a shoulder and I'm gone. I've got a direction, a destination to get to. I'm going. Neymar's all about I'm gonna beat you, but I'm gonna embarrass you, and then I'm gonna get to my destination.
So I'm gonna beat you, but any skill or flick or trick I do is to actually beat you, and I think that's what it was.
With that, you're saying you're still saying Neymar over.
I saw him do it in the biggest games and the biggest stages. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was listening to it, and obviously I'm always going to pick
it's a
Neymar,
fair
but
debate to have.
I think there is an attribute where the gap is closer than people think.
Yeah, I agree.
So to pivot back to Salah, obviously he can leave at the end of the season.
Yep.
We lost De Bruyne at the end of last season.
Yeah.
So take Salah out of the equation. Who are the top 5 players in the Premier League
Right now,
right now?
Erling Haaland.
Silva?
Which Silva?
Man City Silva.
Bernardo.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
You know,
Love it, bro.
We're talking about the top 5 players, like when Sky Sports had the top 5 players.
you don't think Bernardo
One
Silva the top
per
5
club.
player?
No, let's just stay one
right
per
now.
club. Let's just do one per club.
Not even if
No,
you
it doesn't have to be one per
even
club.
if you don't, he's not making it.
Okay, I'm surprised at that.
I'm not considering him.
All right.
He just runs around kicking people. no, I'm joking. But
You know,
he's a great player. But I don't think right now top 5 in the Prem. It's a really great question. I would say
Haaland, Gabriel, top 2.
Haaland, Gabriel.
Virgil van Dijk is right there, you know.
I was about to say. He's been playing. No,
Don't do that.
Wait.
Don't do
No,
that.
but your
Okay,
defense has been
okay,
shaky this season, though.
Don't do that.
Your defense has been shaky this
It
season.
Don't
depends
do
what we
that.
do, whether we say how they're playing or what their max ceiling is.
How they're playing right now?
Yeah, if we're doing how they're
How
playing
they
right
played
now,
this season? How they
we
played
can't,
this
we
season?
can't put Van Dijk over Gabriel. Like, that's just being honest.
Here we go.
You think Virgil van Dijk's been a top 5 player
We
this
can't have it
season?
both ways. Your defense has been nuts. Virgil,
He hasn't been a top 5 player this season.
and he's played every game. Every minute of every game.
If you want to put him in yours, that's
I mean,
fine.
I want him drug tested, but because his injury record is nuts, by the way.
But let's try and get a consensus between the 3.
Apart from the assault, he's just played.
I'm standing on my hill.
So, yeah, Haaland, Gabriel. I think Rice can go in there. Bruno.
I was about to say.
If we expand it to top 5, he can be in there. It's fine.
No, it's in the top 5 Premiership
Yeah.
players right now. Bruno's in there. We have to, I don't know who your 5th is. A few months ago, I might have said someone like Rodgers right now, but he's not maintained.
Semenyo?
Semenyo.
Yeah. Because if you run through the teams, you think who's been the standout of So like we've done Arsenal, Gabriel, Rice. That's fair. Man City, Haaland, fair.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, no one's been a standout.
Gotta pick someone.
Nah.
Man United, you get Bruno.
I would say for a while, Enzo has been playing at a relatively consistent level.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? Reece James, bro. Reece
He
James is
hasn't
playing
played. He
well.
doesn't play enough. Doesn't play. When he does
People
play,
say that. Look at the numbers. He's played a lot. This narrative follows him around. He's played a lot this season.
Szoboszlai. And you said based on this season, Szoboszlai could easily get into that top 5.
He could.
I think ahead of Van Dijk. I think Szoboszlai's been Liverpool's best player this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's not that hard this season. But all right.
Aston Villa. Rodgers is their best player.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most consistent.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I can do 5.
All right, so the 4
I can only
is
do 4. Haaland, Gabriel,
Rice,
and the one they call Bruno.
Yeah.
Any different to yours? Any different? Oh, you'd put Van Dijk in there. Who else?
I'll put Szoboszlai in there for shits and gigs. Round off to 5.
Indeed. All right. Next week's FA Cup, innit?
Yeah.
One-
FA Cup.
One more competition for everyone to try to struggle for. You lot still in it?
Yeah, we got City away.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, you gave him a confidence boost last week. So.
All right, man. And then back to the Prem. Final countdown. 7 games.
Yeah. Now it's.
Oh no, wait, isn't it Arsenal Man City after when we come back? No, it's Arsenal.
April 18th.
We got Newcastle at home,
Bournemouth first, ain't you? I think you got Bournemouth, then Man City.
and then Newcastle after that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, boys. Until the next time. Peace.
Peace.